I will call the meeting to order and welcome everyone here this evening. It's nice to see a crowd out there. We'll start our meeting. I'll ask Emma Bailey to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Emma, if you'll just wait right there, I'll be with you. The next item is the approval of the agenda, and we want to delete item 7A, the LAP grant, in its entirety from this agenda. Other than that, I have no other amendments. Does anyone have anything? The motion?
Motion to approve with less than number 7.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor? And the motion carries. We have here this evening with us a student and teacher from Zebulon Middle School, and we want to recognize first Emma for her achievements in the school and contribution to the community. So y'all bear with me. I did not memorize this, so I'm going to have to read it. It says she was chosen to be recognized as an outstanding student at Zebulon Middle School, a shining example of a Zebulon Middle Cougar on the prowl. P, proud of achieving. Emma's teachers admire her perseverance and drive to work to the best of her ability in all subjects. R, respectful of self to others and property. Emma is kind to students and staff and respectful of the school environment. O, organized for success. Emma always works hard and keeps track of important assignments and due dates. She always works hard to complete all assignments. W, working for a safe environment. Emma is respectful and responsible in the classroom, hallways, and cafeteria. She assists teachers and offers them helpful reminders without being asked. And L, learning to lead. Emma was a member of the Random Acts of Kindness Club last school year. She came up with the great ideas for the kindness activities and followed through with kind deeds for other students and staff members. And for those many reasons, Emma, we're very proud, and thank you very much. We're going to take a picture. Come on over here. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Great.
And now Michelle Murphy. Hey, how are you? Okay. Michelle Murphy has been a valued member of the Zebulon Gifted and Talented Magnet Middle School staff since 2001. She is currently the Special Education Department Chair, whose list of responsibilities and duties within the department truly outweigh what is written. While in this pivotal role, she assists all special education department teachers with being in compliance with federal, state, and district mandates, creating and completing individualized education plans, collaborating with administration, and being a key member in sharing best instructional practices. Ms. Murphy serves as the School Improvement Team Chair and again leads a group of her colleagues in the TIPS problem-solving model and ensuring that key leaders in the building carry out particularly key processes school-wide to meet our school improvement goals. She is also a mentor to beginning teachers, guiding them through management and instruction to ensure that they have a successful year. We truly appreciate all of her hard work with our students, staff, and administration. Thank you. I will say that you're welcome to stay or go. You will not offend us if you go, but thank you all for coming. I want to also recognize Scout Troop 524. If I could ask you all to stand, I appreciate you coming this evening. My understanding is they had a very successful barbecue this weekend, and I hope you had fun doing it.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Chief Perry for bringing those food and y'all everybody in town.
You drew them in, didn't you? Okay. All right. Thank you all very much. Glad to have you this evening. Next is the public comment. All right. Just for people to know that might not be familiar, we offer someone that wants to say something to the board anytime, any meeting rather, regular meeting, to come in and they can have 3 minutes to say what they want to the board. It's not to enter a dialogue with the board. It's maybe a complaint, it may be praise or whatever, but that's what we did, what I was calling for here, and we had no one sign up. You have to sign up, I believe, 15 minutes before the meeting in order to make those comments, but we had no one tonight. But I wanted you to understand what I was asking so that you know in the future you can do that. We now have the consent agenda, and I'll give an explanation to the scouts for that as well. The consent agenda is just routine business that doesn't really require any discussion. If any member of this board wants to pull an item off the consent agenda for open discussion, they can do so. But otherwise, it's just routine business that we don't need to spend a lot of time on. So having said that, I'll ask if there's anyone that wants to remove an item from the consent agenda, and if not, for a motion.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second. Motion made, second. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, old business, rezoning request for 1620 North Arundel Avenue. Darrell, you going to speak first? Yeah. Darrell Jones is here from the planning board to talk to us about their recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, commissioners, and town staff, as a representative of the planning board, I'm here to certify to you the results of our planning board meeting following the public hearing of RZ 2018-01, which is a request to rezone 1.1 acres of land located at 1620 North Arundel Avenue. The planning board discussed the case following the public hearing and the rezone to R13 residential, and consistent with the towns of Zebulon's code of ordinance and will fit within the context of the surrounding areas. The motion passed 4-2 to approve the request. The two votes against the rezoning were based on a concern for the potential of noise pollution, which the planning board would like to discuss further with the planning staff at a future date to possibly add some additions to some of our ordinances to look into the light and noise pollution to surrounding properties. So it was an approval at 4-2.
Okay, thank you.
Does the board have any questions?
Yeah. Any questions? Thank you. Appreciate it, Darrell. Does staff have any further comments?
This property is located at the corner of Green Pace and North Arundel Avenue. It's currently zoned residential. It's surrounded on some of the corners by residentially zoned property, and well, at least all the corners of the intersection are currently heavy business, except with the exception of this property. It is surrounded in the rear by some residentially zoned areas.
Okay. All right, you've heard the recommendation of the planning board and staff's report. Did you have anything further?
No, the staff recommendation is the approval of this rezoning request based on the current land use activity of the surrounding areas and its consistency with adopted plans and policies of the town.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we approve, is it RZ 2018-01? Is that the number?
Yep. Second.
With the recommendations presented by the planning board.
Okay. And we have a motion and a second. Other comments or discussion?
We would ask that you recommend and include in the motion the proposed consistency statement. The general statute has changed with regards to the requirements for rezoning. I believe it's the last attachment 11 with this includes a staff recommended consistency statement. You're welcome to adopt this consistency statement with the proposal or change it, modify it, how you see fit.
Last page.
Dale, do you include that in your motion?
Give me a copy.
Here, right here. Just go
It's
ahead.
the very last page in your
You just,
agenda section.
You just need to include that in your motion.
So if you wish to approve this this proposal, then there are two options. So you can approve it with no changes to the plans, and you can approve it with changes to the current plans and documents. So say that you want to approve it on the basis of changing current plans that have been adopted by the town. If you don't want to approve it, then you would say that you don't want to approve it. And that's option 2. So option 1 and 3 both approve it.
We have a motion on the floor at this time. Do you care to amend that motion?
Yeah, we can. We'll just amend it to the
Adopt the consistency statement.
number 1 there.
Okay, for clarification, is your proposal, your motion then, amended motion is to adopt it with the consistency statement?
Right.
As proposed by staff?
Yeah.
We put, yeah.
Your second is good with that?
Second,
Okay. Now, other comments? All in favor? And the motion carries. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Dale, I'll start with you. Board comments? You have anything?
I don't have anything here.
Bill? Okay. Joe, manager's report?
Thank you, Mayor, and members of the board. Well, as has already been alluded to by the Boy Scouts, we had a big weekend this past weekend. But the first big news we had happened actually on the front lawn here at the farmers market. We knew that we were getting close in our attendance numbers, so close that we felt as though it was possible this weekend we could surpass 10,000 visitors to the farmers market. And we did, in fact, pass that threshold. And in advance of that threshold, all the vendors came together and put together a gift basket. And so the Waring family, who has relocated to Zebulon from Pennsylvania, was awarded with the vendor's basket for being the 10,000th visitor to the farmers market. Also at the farmers market, as you all know, we have the Farmer Food Share program where they accept monetary and food donations. They take the monetary donations and they buy food from the vendors that are there, and the vendors also contribute food. And the threshold that we pass with them is the Farmer Food Share program has surpassed collecting 3 tons of food this summer. And so they put that into the United Methodist Pantry, and that then goes out into the community. And as was mentioned by the Boy Scouts, we did have a live burn. This was an exceptional opportunity. This is a rare opportunity. Typically, our first responders are dependent upon going down to Archer's Lodge, which we're thankful for, but it's an artificial environment. It's not a live burn where you have to actually get into a burning house. So we're thankful to Glenn Lewis for donating the property and allowing us to conduct that live burn. As a result of that opportunity, we had 40 first responders representing 5 different agencies go through an exercise that exceeded 30 burn events. So very, very good opportunity. As with anything that we do around here, there's always lessons learned, both good and bad. We're still working through how to get public information out in the land where we don't have a local newspaper. And so as a result of that, we have some hits and misses. And we had some very nice comments that were shared with us, but we also missed out on notifying some people. One person in particular had their day interrupted and was caught unaware. And for situations like that, and for that particular situation in particular, we apologize for that. That's something that we're going to work on and continue to do a better job on as far as public information. But that's it for the manager's report. I'm available for any questions if you have any.
Questions? Okay, thank you, Judge. All right, I said this would be quick, but we now have a closed session that's permitted by North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6 for the purpose of personnel discussion. So is there a motion that we go into closed session?
So moved.
And I'll take moved as a second. Okay. All right, all in favor? Okay. Folks, what that means is that we go in the other room and go into closed session for private conversation, which we are really restricted on items that we can go in and talk about outside of the ears of the public. Personnel being one of them, and that's the reason for this. So thank y'all for coming tonight. You're welcome to stay, but when we come out, all we're going to do is adjourn. So good night.